Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to JARCast episode 229. I'm your host, Alex, joined as always by, no silly names, James.
Hello.
And Jim.
Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, and welcome to Jim.
Welcome to Jim. Before we go too deep into the show, let me shout out the Jar Media Patreon, who make the audio version possible, and the patron reading names at the start of each month. So next episode. This is it, guys. Episode number 2 of Live.
We're back, baby.
We are back. It's we are finding our way again through the realms of live video. We are getting our whips.
In a crazy long and accidentally crazy long JARCast, we were like, let's not time it or anything. Let's just try and get back into the
groove,
the swing of things, the groove. Because we mentioned it, it's weird to be in the same room recording again.
It is weird. It's weird to see other human beings.
Mm-hmm.
I forget how much I profusely sweat when I'm...
It is very warm in here as well. Because we were barefoot last episode, and I mean, it's going into the start of summer now, so it's just going to get warmer and warmer.
Yeah, and with the light sources, the foam, the
lights,
sound deadening,
the dogs, the PC fans.
It's a sauna, and it just gets a bit unbearable when it's hot.
So if the little toesies come out again, that's why.
The stinky, sweaty... We were just saying before starting, if you could smell, like, the smell-o-vision from the Futurama. If we were on the smell-o-vision, we would be the stinkiest podcast on...
Especially last episode with Paisley licking that air and breathing.
Oh my god, yeah, she stank. That was bad.
I was so disappointed editing last episode because I was like, yeah, we're coming back. It's the first, everyone's on their best form. Mm-hmm. Paisley comes into the background. 5-10 minutes straight, she's just licking that same place.
Yeah, just gobbing.
It's vile. It was making me gag while I was editing.
Yeah,
because I was getting so annoyed at myself in the episode because she was right next to me, but because this mic is so big, it was blocking my view, so I couldn't see her. Otherwise, I would have immediately stopped her, but she was there doing it.
Could you hear it in the podcast? Could you hear her gobbing?
I don't think so. Maybe those with headphones in the background might have bbeen able to pick it out.
You could smell it though. God damn.
No, just the two dogs together. They are fucking stanky.
No, they say a dog's mouth is cleaner than a human's.
That must be one of those BS.
Bullshit. Yeah, that's got to be bullshit because they lick their asshole and then pant and it smells of shit. It smells worse than shit. It smells of dog asshole.
They're breathing their own shit. They're just spewing it out everywhere. Yeah.
Rate us on iTunes. Just want to throw that out there. Helps out the show. We're nearly at 1 million downloads on the audio version.
That is a fucking huge number.
That is a big number.
That's crazy.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, well, let's just drop this. We've got some juicy vids on the horizon, so keep a lookout for those.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yep, the Horizon Zero Dawn.
They won't be on PlayStation podcast or anything. It's not even a joke. Let's do some housekeeping, where we address some comments from the last episode. Bimey's going to start us off. The boys are sat on the floor and forgot which number it was. The JARCast is back, baby. Yeah.
It's just funny.
Are we going to tell the chair thing, or are we just going to leave that just up in the air?
What chair thing? What chair thing are you on about?
About
Alex?
The reason we're on the floor last episode or whatever.
Yeah, we might.
We need to build back up.
We're starting from the bottom to get...
So we can get here.
Yeah, to a true experience. A true JAR experience after the COVID. We have to... Got to start from the bottom.
It's always been our goal. We want to be like the man evolving, but as a podcast.
Yeah.
Tommy Police has one. On one hand, I'd like to congratulate James for achieving heaven. You'll get it eventually. On the other hand, I urge Alex and Jim to read/watch Berserk. There are lots of comments about this because it's been recommended a lot of times actually, and they said the best thing to do would be to directly go to the manga. But if you prefer to start with the anime, I suggest going for the 97 adaptation. The direction, script, voice acting, music, and presentation, especially if you like that 90s anime aesthetic, compensate for the somewhat rudimentary animation. Seriously, Berserk is one of my favourite works of fiction. Blandscape also says the original Berserk manga is definitely the way to go, just for the raw energy. And I'll do round off this Berserk thing with this one from the Joker Baby. If you guys want to get into Berserk, then you just got to read the manga. This seems to be the suggestion mostly. because I have a feeling that a lot of the adaptations are not going to be to Alex's thing, and they cut a bunch of the stuff that I think was compelling in the manga while adding in some shitty dialogue. Now, I know it may seem long, but it's a manga. There's usually not that much reading besides some short dialogue and a paragraph once in a while. That's true, actually, because, of course,
it's just there's a lot of the manga. It's not short.
I got nothing against reading it. I read a bunch of Attack on Titan after I watched the first season, and there was nothing else to go off.
The only thing for me is getting into the state of reading.
Yeah.
It's so much more
casual, I would say, to watch something.
It's so much easier to when you're sat in front of a TV or in front of your PC.
Well, the last kind of book like that, like a graphic novel type thing I went through was The Boys. When season 2 of that came out, I just want to see how it contrasted, and it is quite a fun way of reading once you have issues and issues that are already out. I don't know if I could do it month by month.
No.
Like I used to read The Walking Dead month by month. It's a bad way of ingesting stories because you just forget. A month's a long time. I suppose they're quite short, so you're just supposed to reread them again and again, but I'm not patient enough for that.
Do you read on screens, or do you prefer like paperback?
I prefer paperback, but I usually end up reading on screens just because I don't want issues and issues stacked up.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with DVDs everywhere, and it's already a space problem.
I would love to have like a bookshelf, because I think aesthetically they're really nice.
I do get a few bookshelves.
I've got one in my room, and it's a nice look. And just when there's a series you've already liked, then it's nice to collect them gradually and have like the whole collection, like I've done. But I would always read online.
That's the thing.
The thing that I found with books, I know this might be a bad take, is that when you read it, I think it looks dirty. Not dirty, but it looks like it's got the pages and everything on the bookshelf. It just doesn't look as...
That's what people want, though, because when you have your like Kindle, it's replicating that paper page.
What do you mean by dirty?
I don't mean dirty, wrong word. Like, it's been read. So like the spine has been like...
creased.
Yeah. And
I prefer a book, like when you've read through it, then it's like had your touch.
I know.
You can't beat the physicality of a book.
But also in the same time, like I'm saying, when you're sat in front of your TV or PC, if you have books on that screen, you're more likely to read it because you're already in that space of engaging with media on that thing.
I've always done it through just my phone because it's quite convenient on my phone.
Yeah, I don't know how people can do that. I hate reading
full novels off their phone.
Yeah. Or even I find it annoying to read an article. Like I remember going through this big ass article on my phone, and it's just the most frustrating thing, and you're like zooming in on all the writing and shit. Yeah.
But I would say the Berserk manga is definitely worth looking at because the art is so fucking good.
If you do want a good book though, I would say any Dr. Zeus. Just fantastic.
Can't even argue with that. Or if you want a good book,
the recovery version. Very Cool has a question regarding that. There was a comment we talked about last episode where we were talking about video games using the medium best to tell the story, and there are a few things I wanted to say or reference that I just couldn't get out of my head or whatever, and these comments helped remind me as to what I was trying to think of. As for which games use the fact that they are a game to tell their story best question, my mind instantly goes to Nier Replicant, as it's a story that completely requires the medium of video games to work. So those got a few shout-outs to Nier games.
Yeah, I've heard
that. Fan of those,
they are those type of games.
But it has to be a video game for it to communicate its story. C. Rambo has one I actually have played, not all of. I think Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice utilizes the medium very well to tell its story. Yeah, I've only played a couple hours of that, but I can agree from what I've played.
Yeah, no, I got
very unique.
It had those vibes.
And you have to play it with like headphones too, if you want to have the proper experience. Yeah. It's one of those. I think that's most of those. No, there was one more, Undertale. I didn't screenshot the comment. No, I did, sorry. Chili Jelly said, I understand that none of the boys have played it to my knowledge, but it was kind of jarring for me to not hear Undertale mentioned at all during the games and stories discussion. I think that was the one I was trying to think of that I wanted to shout out, but because I haven't played it, it wasn't there in my head. So, because it's all I've ever heard about it is how like clever, and you like replay it, get different get some different experience from it.
Yeah, that's a case of, I'm sure it's been said to death, but like the fan base sort of ruining something.
Well, what sounds good about it to me is it sounds like one of those kind of Pokemon-ish RPGs, but you can go through non-violently and using...
Yeah.
Which is a cool idea. It's more about like the writing and...
Yeah, no, I still think that game is incredible because it was Toby Fox. He just did everything. And the soundtrack of it is really good. The game's obviously really good, and it's just like...
The only thing that's put me off is I've heard there's like really insanely difficult parts, which...
Yeah, isn't it sort of like the combat is like bullet hell?
Yeah, there's like bullet hell sections or something, which to me is a huge put-off. Maybe in the comments people can let me know how accurate that would be to the actual experience or not.
Yeah.
I'm just checking something so I don't...
Let's end on this then for the housekeeping segment. Sort of going back to the social media topic we were talking about. Atomic Catacombs is going to start us off. On the topic of Twitter... showing you other people's likes, etc. You can actually turn that off. At the top of your timeline, there's a little star icon. Click on that, then select See Latest Tweets, and your timeline will go back to chronological order. But I don't know why they default this setting to other people's likes bullshits, but this is in a way to combat that. Hope it helps.
That is a great help.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, why didn't I know that?
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna click
because they don't want you to know about it, clearly.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely gonna use it. Recently I followed this account called Abandoned Places. And it's just like pictures of just like abandoned places.
Yeah.
But all their likes are like people fighting and shit. Like
really?
Yeah, and it's like Perfect Cop or something where like someone's on the road and there happens to be a police car and they do something illegal. And like it's this like aggro shit that's all over social media, stuff to get you riled up. Like you see so much fighting and shit now. And I just followed this account to look at like old castles. And then
you can't avoid the conflict.
Yeah.
See, I like seeing what people like because sometimes something will just fuck me up so funny that you've liked, and I was just like, I need to see that. That's so funny.
Frog S is going to finish this segment. On the social media talk, maybe you guys can't do this because of JAR, IHE or another reason, but I deleted Facebook, Twitter, Reddit and Instagram from my phone at the start of the year and it's been nothing but beneficial. I talk to all my friends through Discord or Messenger and the only social media sites I use anymore are Twitch and YouTube. My mood is generally improved, I'm more productive and my thoughts no longer get caught up in dumb internet bullshit all the time like they used to. If you don't use social media for work, I'd absolutely recommend breaking off from all those websites.
Yeah, I definitely have considered it. Or maybe even just going like...
A few people have recommended to me to delete my Twitter, but it's too much of an important resource. It's how everyone communicates.
Your IHE, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see how you can like be on YouTube and not have a Twitter.
Yeah.
It is quite vital, especially with how the YouTube algorithm works now.
Yeah. I think it mainly depends, like, I know a lot of people have a lot with their algorithm, it's always the same, very bad stuff, especially with Instagram and, like, all the dangerous stuff that comes from that. But it's just, like, for me, social media's never been like that, because it's all passion for me. It's all the stuff I follow passionately, so it's like, I don't get any of the issues, because it's like, I'm just seeing up things I really, really like. And for me, that is actually quite fine, but... The reason I get rid of it is because of how addictive it is. You're just constantly wake up, scroll through your Twitter, scroll through your Instagram.
I'm definitely addicted.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't know if I'm in a position where I can unaddict myself while still making YouTube shit. I don't know how that's really possible.
Yeah.
It's because they're so intertwined. But
I don't really see YouTube as a social media.
It is.
You can exist on YouTube and not totally be obsessed with Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
It's easy to fall into that, though.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, it's more like a equivalent to Netflix or something. The way I use it, where I'm looking for content.
Paisley, dude, you can't be in here if you're going to do this every episode.
We're fucking disappointed in you.
Just sits there grooming herself really loudly in the background.
I don't think people realise
for 15 minutes.
She has sloppy noises. He is a sloppy dog who just slops.
She's got such big
jowls.
Just see how... yeah.
I'm sick of it. I can't. Max never did that.
No, but then you've got Argy, who just like starts pulling his nails or pulling balls, and it's just
being
like
cute.
He might be cute, but he's still irritating when he's sloppy. Also, let me just finish this. If you have got a problem with Instagram, you can get this app called Block Site on your phone, and you can block all the apps off that you use during your work hours, or block access to them completely. It's a good way if you generally want to cut back, because you kind of need it sometimes. So you just being able to just remove it from block when you need to talk to someone, and then blocking it and whatnot can just help.
Yeah, the only thing with that for me is that I just know that because the temptation is still there. Like, I would need someone else to be in control of the block.
It's also very useful if you're struggling with a certain kind of addiction to a certain kind of thing, because you can block all of it, and that will help you.
Let's do some topics.
Let's do it.
There are a couple of note that I wanted to bring up at the very least. Let's start with this one though, because it's very jar. The Eternals, a race of immortal beings. We finally know what they look like in the flesh, and it's not like fan art, deviant art bullshits anymore. We've got the real deal. We got
that wasn't a fan-made video.
We got Oscar-winning directors bringing together the whole crew of Game of Thrones. Angelina Jolie's in there, Pawnee's in there, but every one of note is in this movie. All the CG, all the animators in the world are working on this movie, doing all the visual effects. It's going to be huge. It's got like 11 million plus views in like 2 minutes or whatever.
The water tech is unmatched.
And that was probably my biggest takeaway. It was like, you know what, at the very least, Marvel is pushing the boundaries with their obscene budgets to such a degree that they're like at the cutting edge of visual effects, and we're just seeing silly scale from them. But aside from that, I don't know.
The one thing I took from from the trailer is what's the villain? What's the danger of these movies? Because there's just a flying spaceship where the Eternals are on it. I don't get why. That's it. They've only showed off the characters, the Eternals.
It seemed more like kind of a mood piece. Like,
yeah,
this is the setting. This is what everyone looks like, but we're not going to give away anything that happens. But from the premise anyway of them being immortal beings, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Characters like Superman, he's not immortal, but he's the closest thing to it. You see how they struggle with characters like that. Like, Captain Marvel
is
that type of character is tough. Unless they're the villain in something like Invincible or whatever, then it works way better. But
and you've got 8 of them. Is there 8 Eternals or 7?
Oh, dude, you know better than me. But I mean, it looks like a new one. To be honest, visually it looked a bit more unique and varied compared to some of the previous Marvel affair. But when you have that final scene where they're like, "Hey, maybe I should lead the Avengers, guys. What do you think?"
Yeah, was that the guy from Doctor Strange giving them slop in a bowl?
Well, he was doing all the hand shit. So right.
No, the not him. The one that's like feeding them at the table.
No, it can't be. It's a different person.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to ask Marvel Fan 5 about that one.
Yeah. The thing is that this trailer, because there's so many characters in the Eternals, like there's more characters in the Eternals than in the original Avengers.
True. That's another thing.
Like, no character gets given enough time, and honestly, no joke, Kumail is the biggest draw to this film for me.
Yeah. He's the only reason I will watch it, and I haven't even seen fucking Men in Black International. I don't know the source of Kumail.
Yeah, because even having the half of Game of Thrones cast in it seems like a...
Yeah, if anything, that's
that was
more
like a trend from a few years ago.
Yeah, it makes me less interested, and like seeing Jon Snow pop up and stuff. That's all. The only reason they're showing you this is because Game of Thrones. Like,
well, yeah, it's showing all the faces of all the like biggest actors. In Hollywood, so,
but I mean, I don't know. Seeing those actors now after the end of Game of Thrones, it is kind of sour.
People are comparing it to like, this is like the new Guardians of the Galaxy in terms of it's like a set of characters no one knows about, and it's their moment.
No, because
I don't think they're quirky enough.
No. There's quirkiness with when you look at Guardians of the Galaxy and all the cast and all the trailers, it has that quirky vibe.
Yeah, it's
it's because of James Gunn though. That, like I've is what's her name? Chloe Zhao? Is she the James Gunn for what we need for the Eternals, whatever? I mean, I don't want just Guardians of the Galaxy again. You know, they feel like a quirky. I'm more excited about. I've always heard, have you guys heard of Moon Knight?
No.
He's a Marvel character, and I've always heard about how awesome he is.
Moon Knight.
He's like, yeah.
Is that like a Shovel Knight character?
No, he's like this. I don't actually know his powers or anything, but I've always, like, through the grapevine, just heard about how awesome Moon Knight is.
You know,
Oscar Isaac has been cast as Moon Knight.
Really?
In the MCU, yeah. Whatever that means. So
I like Oscar Isaac.
The zeitgeist is telling me to be excited, so I'm feeling it.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised Oscar Isaac would do anything with Disney now, because he seemed quite.
No, he actually got out pretty unscathed out of everyone in those Star Wars movies.
Yeah. He's
everyone else got
the most unscathed.
Yeah,
but still, like, you look at the interviews with him post.
Yeah, he's just like
the last one.
It's a paycheck, whatever.
Yeah.
Can't really blame him.
Yeah. You got the vibe.
So yeah, we'll definitely be checking out the Eternals when that
we will be seeing
eventually comes out.
Honestly, I can't say I have all that much hope.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards not much hope.
I don't know.
Nothing in the trailer was like, whoa. Apart from the water.
To be honest, everything post Endgame has still just been like, I could have been fine without this, really.
The only
was
one
a cool idea. Kind of petered out.
The one I like having is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man one and Doctor Strange seems way more interesting than a Black Widow prequel and whatever this Eternals thing is. But
do not do prequels. Mm-hmm. Like, how can you show in the Marvel Universe something more interesting now
than what they've shown, than what they've already established in the world?
Unless it's post-Thanos shit, because you can actually do stuff with that.
Well, there are rumors of them like planning to bring him back or something.
Thanos.
No, but that's what's going to happen if it's true comic shit. It's just going to be like cycles of like, oh, it's been like 10 years now, Iron Man is back, or whatever.
Honestly, I do see Iron Man going back, like within the next.
What's more likely, Captain America coming back or Iron Man?
Iron Man is coming back.
Do you reckon?
I think it's like just 100%.
I would say give it within 4 years. Iron Man's going to be back.
4 years.
4 years. Since when it came out 2 years ago?
Yeah.
6 years. 6 years from then. He's coming back. We were right about Dogecoin. I was right about the GameStop stocks. I'm right about this.
Well, speaking of Dogecoin, J.J. Abrams has caught a bit of flack the last few days for this interview. Did you guys see this?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I saw the quote.
I think it was a Collider interview. The headline being, J.J. Abrams acknowledges it probably would have been better if they had approached the Star Wars sequel trilogy with a plan. So it's this really awkward interview where JJ is asked a bunch of questions by this Collider guy, and he politically avoids every question, but kind of in the way he answers it does kind of imply some things. AKA, there was no plan. They had no fucking clue what they were doing.
That was more than implied, wasn't it? He straight up said.
He says, he says it in a way without like condemning the productions he was a part of, because I mean he is in a very complicated situation.
He's also just the like shill director.
Mm-hmm. And he's being professional about it. You can't like blame him for not being outright about it.
Well, I don't know.
I'm not sure which, because I respect
as a director.
What's the Finn actor called again?
Yeah, fuck. Boyega.
John Boyega. He came out against it and was saying about like this is bullshit the way this went down. Mm-hmm. I think everyone respected that, being real, being honest.
Yeah.
Whereas this is more, I kind of got my standing in Hollywood or whatever. I don't want to ruin anything.
No, J.J. Abrams just doesn't have a voice to me. He never says anything, like even with his art.
Yeah, they're good references to Spielberg.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah.
And his whole theory, I saw quite a good take that was, It could have worked because Rian Johnson answered all of the mystery boxes, and then they just ditched the answers.
Yeah.
And changed everything.
Yeah, for different
answers. If you'd have ran with the Rian Johnson shit, there would have been more of like a through line.
Yeah, there's no excuse for episode 9.
No.
I stand by that. There's no excuse for it being as bad as it is.
It's the worst Star Wars movie.
Yeah. But do you think this is interesting how it's kind of boiled down into the blame falling on two main people? Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Those are the two people that have caught, I'd say, the majority of the rage. JJ is getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But he started off being like the hero with episode 7. And then when episode 8 came out, everyone loved JJ still and hated Rian. And now it seems to be more like people are actually understanding that the
JJ
system
set
and
the foundation.
Disney was the true problem that they even allow this ball to start rolling. I guess it's just nice to have. Basically, it was already basically confirmed, but it's just more evidence for the pile and this whole situation, you know?
Yeah, I think Rian Johnson has also earned some cred back from Knives Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone loves that film.
Mm-hmm.
Great fucking film.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he needs to be doing. Can I give you this and you won't pluck it?
No, he will pluck it.
I'm sorry, you totally distracted me from the conversation.
Take this tennis ball and put it behind next to the Hobbit or on there. Yeah, that's fine.
Bad boy.
But I think that's probably a good way of like rounding off this whole arc. Mm-hmm. This whole Star Wars sequel trilogy shit. I can't believe they even got him into an interview.
Yeah, that really surprises me.
Why would he agree to that? Why
now? It's not even relevant anymore. Everybody's forgotten. Nobody cares.
Yeah,
really.
it's all about
actually
Bad
kind of
Batch
like Star Wars given its recent performance and
The Mandalorian saved Star Wars hands down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the for gaming, Fallen Order saved it as well with that.
The expanded media, ironically, is what's saving it.
Yeah,
just like
after they scrap all of the.
It's just a repeat of what happened with the prequels.
Yeah.
But the expanded stuff was awesome. Yeah. Anyway,
I miss the prequels.
So we've only got a few more minutes here before the end of this first segment. Unless you guys have anything to throw out, I did want to say, continuing on this Mass Effect thing, I am on 3 now. Not going to go deep into it or anything, because I think the plan is to try and do as good as they say is on each one, because I just have so many thoughts on this trilogy.
This Legendary Edition is giving us a lot to think about the series.
Yeah, and finishing 2, I have a bunch more thoughts on that game, and going into 3. 3 is definitely the worst one. No doubt in my mind.
Worse than 1?
Yeah, way worse than 1. Without going into too much detail, it was the first one where when I was playing and getting to a point, it's the first time you go to the Citadel and you meet fucking Diane Allers, Jessica Chobot. It is the most distracting, because I've been in this universe all through Mass Effect 1, all through Mass Effect 2, so into it, never breaking anything, it all seems so cohesive. What the fuck is Jessica Chobot doing in this game? It genuinely is like such a mind-blowing decision. I cannot believe that character is in Mass Effect 3. It might seem like a big thing to get hung up on, but I was saying to you guys, like, once I did the section where you're first introduced to Jessica Chobot in that game, I like went to the home screen of my Xbox, and there she fucking was, the real Jessica Chobot. 'Cause I think she like has some like Xbox, Microsoft Xbox thing, so her fucking face was there, and it was like, you're in the video game I was just playing, but you're like, what is happening? And like, it's just part of the lore of that game.
It is incredibly lame.
She's not playing a character either. It's like her. Yeah. It's her face. Yeah. It looks like her.
What? A really fucking creepy version of her.
Yeah.
She's like demonic in Mass Effect 3.
But she's like not doing a voice or anything either. It's just her. It sounds like she's hosting an episode of an IGN show or something.
Yeah.
Isn't there a romance option for her as well?
I think so.
Well,
and she's like a journalist in the game as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird shit like that in Mass Effect 3.
What would you feel if the new Mass Effect came out The new one, because there's a new one on
and
the
she's
horizon.
the main character.
No, you go to the Citadel again and she's there, and they actually put her in the new one. Would it just be like, that's it, Mass Effect is dead?
Yeah, but I was so like pulled out of the experience, I stopped playing for a couple of days because I was like, because it all started rushing back to me, like, oh yeah, a lot of weird shit with Mass Effect 3, like the From Ashes thing with that DLC with the Prothean character. And just the decision of having that guy be DLC impacts the design of the entire game. Yeah. So you're missing out on a bunch of stuff that could have been integrated into the game more conversation trees, more options, more cutscenes. But because it's some throwaway DLC bullshit, it just feels like an add-on. Whereas that feels like it should be such a crucial part of the story.
Yeah. Because that's shit that could change the actual story of the game, given they were actually attacked.
And 3 just feels like that. It feels so like linear. Compared to the previous 2, even more than 2, and 2 is linear.
I don't know whose decision it was to release it when it was released. Was it EA?
It's crazy rushed.
Yeah, because why would you have this, like, you start off with this really ambitious game, like too ambitious, you can't make it what you want it to be, so you make it something else, like in the time that you have.
Yeah.
You get that out. And then, how many years was it? What, 3 years? 3 years till Mass Effect 2.
Was Mass Effect 1 2007?
Yeah, same year as Halo 3.
So yeah, then 3 years to 2010, then 2 years for Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, why would you give yourself less time to make the most ambitious one, more ambitious than the first one that you couldn't even make?
And I think considering the restrictions and the context, it is a good game.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of really good shit in there and lots of payoffs. But I mean,
I don't like having to consider that though.
Yeah, that is what's lame about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the conversation actually gets a lot more complicated than that, and we can't talk about it more without just delving in, which we're not going to do here because I mean, it gets to a point where it's like, it just dominates.
We're going to do videos on every game and just go through and talk about it.
Yeah, just so it's off my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see after these messages.
Hello, this is me, Aggie. You do realise that there are Bebo shirts available, right? Take a look at the really cute shirts. Look in the description or under the video for more.
Welcome to the second half of the... God, I keep wanting to say corn. But it's the JARCast.
It's ingrained
not in
us.
corn anymore.
I know, we've got to switch off the corn. This is the part of the show we head over to the suggestion thread on the Jar Media subreddit and answer questions. Head over there and ask us anything you like. The real Ron has got our first one. Oh no, we already answered this. It was an Eternals question. My mistake. Absolutely bonkers, mate, is actually going to start us off. This is the debate that might end the friendship between the Jar Boys. What is better, bread or pasta?
No, there's no fucking comparison here. They're completely different things for completely different times. No, there's not.
They both fill the same gap in a meal.
Both carbohydrates?
Yeah.
Okay, scientifically they do, but for me, they do not.
What's more versatile?
Versatility?
Bread.
Bread.
It might be bread.
It's bread.
How?
Every type of sandwich
is a different experience. A muffin.
Yeah, but every
different type of bread.
Mm.
You can't make a bread... Well, you can't put bread in salad.
Bread pudding?
Bread pudding, yeah.
Eggy bread.
Eggy bread?
Yeah, eggy bread's good as
I would
fuck.
say I did make spaghetti the other day, and because those two...
What do people who aren't us call eggy bread? French toast.
Is it French toast, though?
Yeah.
No, it's not. I don't think it is.
What?
French toast might be something different.
It's something different.
No, but isn't French toast something different in America?
No, I'm pretty sure French toast is French toast. But I made spaghetti the other day, and the sauce was so liquidy at the bottom, I got bread to soak up the juices at the bottom.
Nah, that's wrong.
How
you don't want fucking watery sauce, bro.
No, it is French toast. We just don't put vanilla and like sweet shit in,
right.
in the egg.
Oh, wait, I swear they were different.
I don't want sweet eggy bread, though.
I don't want eggy bread.
That is the
at
main.
all.
Sorry, yeah, that is the clarification.
Wait, so you don't even like eggy bread?
Eggy bread is savoury. French toast is sweet. So it is the same shit, basically.
Right.
I really hate eggy bread.
So, no, but I still think pasta is better. If I had to live without bread or without pasta, I would live without bread.
I would live without bread.
Really?
Yes, because I fucking love bread.
You
but
can never have a
pasta's-
burger, one of those like
fuck's
a
sake.
chicken fillet or anything.
But pasta is just like bread is like you make something with bread. Pasta's a fucking meal. Bread's like this kind of when you get up in the morning, you're gonna have a sandwich. You know,
Sandwiches are awesome though. Sandwiches are
Sandwiches,
incredible.
burgers, anything like that.
But pasta is a core part of my diet.
yeah, pasta's incredible.
Like 4 out of 7 days a week, I'll have pasta for dinner.
I think they've nailed us here. I actually I can't make a decision
I fucking love bread.
because I value like an awesome burger and an awesome pasta meal,
Yeah.
and they scratch different itches for me.
Also, like wholemeal bread is nicer than wholemeal pasta. I hate that like brown wholemeal pasta. Shit sucks.
That is shit.
And I feel like I experience a greater variety of bread. I'm getting something different out of the the different shapes. They're cool or whatever.
Does
but-
bread count as pizza as well?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, there's
bread wins.
too much good food.
I'm sorry, bread
Bread
wins.
wins.
It's really.
It's fucking
I actually
hard.
can't decide. If I have to live without one of them, then I'd rather not live at all.
Maybe that's the true answer.
But then you also won't get breaded chicken. So KFC chicken, some of it's breaded. The fillets.
Nah, pasta's too crucial to the way to who I am.
Bread would win.
Snooze71271 says, "What is Hobgoblin? I live in America and I found a Hobgoblin t-shirt that said, 'What's the matter, lager boy? Afraid you might taste something?' And it was this bizarre creature. Ever since I've been fascinated with Hobgoblin. I ask this because I saw you guys drinking it once."
Hobgoblin is an ale. It's a bitter.
Do Americans not drink ale then?
They drink IPAs. IPAs became really popular in America.
Is that what White Claw
Is that the...
IPA? Or is that like just a baby?
I don't know. I've never had White Claw.
That's right.
White Claw's it's like in a can, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like
ale in a can.
It's like an energy drink alcohol thing. I think I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's just the go-to meme for people who can't drink alcohol. They just drink White Claw.
Yeah.
I was going to Google it, but
IPAs can often be quite sweet though, aren't they? A Hobgoblin's not like that.
I find IPAs tend to be more citrusy.
That's what I mean, sorry. Citrusy. You got your
Sort of grapefruity.
You can
Even
get orange
passion
ones.
fruity. I don't think passion fruit's citrusy, but
I had like a tangerine one, which was nice
yeah.
a couple of weeks back.
But yeah, it's an ale.
Yes, no.
I don't know what else to add to that.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
We just drink lots of ale here, I guess.
Yeah,
Good
it
ale.
is extremely British ale.
Why
It's just more of like it's a heavy drink. It seems more wintry. Like
Yeah, it is heavy. I don't think it's the kind of thing where, for me personally, if I'm at a pub, maybe I'll start off on an ale and then move to lager.
Yeah,
or even spirits.
lager's just lighter and fresher.
Yeah.
more of a summer drink.
Hunter the Stick has one. I'd gotten into scale modelling and discovered something I loved, and I never would have known if it wasn't for Ruben and James, so thank you. James' excuses are invalid. James has some misconceptions about time to do. I give my models a few hours at a time and have a makeshift table of 5 foot by 2 foot, which isn't a lot of space, and it's mounted to the wall like a shelf. See, this sounds fucking easy, bro. The supplies aren't expensive. You don't need an airbrush for a one-time thing. Just paint, glue, and brushes. That's all. And now for my question. Why are you letting some of the best kits gain dust? Or have you started one of them already and haven't said anything about them?
Don't say a fucking word. To me, that shit kind of seems like adult Lego. You know?
It is.
When you have to start getting your paints out and have a special table attached to the wall.
Okay, so what this guy was on about, I get when you've got a proper setup, it's quite easy to like chip away at. I live with my parents. They are the most like fucking. If I had a setup, a permanent setup, they would move everything. They would clean it.
With paint and
I lose parts. It's not that I don't have the time. I have the time. I don't have a setup that makes me so I can just.
You don't have the space.
Yes. And it's just, I can't do it in my room. My parents be funny about paints. It's like, I'm not, when I have my own house, I can do that stuff. But with my parents, it's like, I save myself a lot of stress by not doing it.
Yeah, I'm not a fucking dork, so I'll never do any of that lame ass shit. I'll just play Mass Effect, Apex Legends all day.
Young Mo says one. What are your guys' thoughts on Breaking Bad and the spin-offs? I personally love this series, but I'm afraid the movie might be a disappointment. Also didn't know there was a show about Saul until recently. Thoughts?
Breaking Bad, incredible. Better Call Saul, incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the
El Camino.
El Camino.
El Camino's good, yeah.
It was nice.
It was nice to get Jesse's story kind of wrap up, because the focus is more on Walt in the show.
Yeah,
and
for
Jesse's
sure.
kind of like a strand, so you get some kind of conclusion to that, I suppose. But I understand exactly where it's coming from, because I remember that fear after watching Breaking Bad and hearing about this prequel shit. And so many prequels are bad, and Saul is a prequel.
Yeah,
it was like, how often is this shit good? But then it's Vince Gilligan, and he puts in the time.
Because it was Saul as well, I was really expecting the show to just be like a comedy.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. It was going to rely on the comedy, and the comedy's definitely in there, but it's more like it is in Breaking Bad, where it's kind of dark comedy.
Yeah, the last time I watched Breaking Bad, because I've seen it like 3 times at this point, it is a surprisingly funny show. Like,
it's essential for how dark it is, because it's like really dark.
Mm-hmm.
He's like killing people a few episodes in.
Do you know what's I've only finished the first season, but my family have never watched it, and I've always been like, you should watch this. This is really good. I've seen the first season, and it's always their perception is it's going to be really depressing because of the subject of Walter getting cancer, and they instantly put that off, and it's like,
that's interesting.
That's completely false. It's like there's more to it than just Walter has cancer.
Well, normally that's like the hook, is because he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So watching him break bad is like kind of the whole point and the fun of it. But
they just don't get it.
Falafel Freak has one for us. What do you gooners think about the Portal games? I finished both of them last week, and I love them. GLaDOS is just such an interesting character, and playing with the physics to solve puzzles was so much fun. Thoughts?
Portal 1 is a masterpiece.
They both are.
Portal 2 is a really good game.
But you don't think it's masterful?
It's not on the same level as Portal 1.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think the writing is... I think the writing's amazing in Portal 2.
Yeah, I agree, but I wish their original plan had...
I'm not sure I know what their original plan was.
So originally, GLaDOS wasn't going to be in the game, and J.K. Simmons was going to be his character. He was going to be the equivalent. But they did play tests, and everyone was like, "Where's GLaDOS? I hate this."
Really?
Yeah, I think they might have even been testing with like different puzzles. Like it's not just portals. Like you have different mechanics and shit. I might be getting mixed up there. But yeah, I think if they could have actually made the game they originally set out to, it could have been more interesting.
Do you not think the story that came from that, though, is still kind of cool? Like waking up GLaDOS and Wheatley and that weird power thing that goes on with them.
Yeah, but it is also... They what's it called when you, like, backtrack?
Retcon.
The whole song at the end of Portal 1's still alive.
At
the start of Portal 2, she's dead. Like, you have to wake her back up. It's like... There are loads of little nitpicky things, but... It does sort of affect.
I just think the actual dialogue is so well written, and the lines and the voice acting itself.
Stephen Merchant was like a great.
Because J.K. Simmons is still in the game, and he has some of the best lines in the game.
Yeah,
like the lemonades.
But they also force in the like GLaDOS backstory, which is. I'm totally down with her having a backstory, but that story element isn't utilized. She has like 2 lines as a human. It's kind of weird.
Did you do the co-op stuff?
Yeah, the co-op stuff is really, really fucking good. That's probably the masterpiece part of Portal 2.
Getting that design to work with 2 people.
Yeah, and it's just so much fun when you're communicating with someone. Like
yeah. I played through all the co-op when it came out, and I played through the story mode a few years ago now, so they're not up-to-date thoughts by any means, but I remember really, really liking it.
Yeah, I might look back on it slightly harsher because I'm way more familiar with Portal 2. For some reason, I was just obsessed with Valve games and the universes they build. Mm-hmm. So when Portal 2 came out, I played it like over and over and over again. I love that shit.
Well, yeah, I always remember that era specifically because it was when PSN went down for a month. Portal 2 came out.
Oh,
I
really?
remember that.
Yeah, wasn't it to do with hackings or something?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's when I left PlayStation, was when that started.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, no one had their like credit card information on it after that point because they were like scared. Mm-hmm. It's a bit different story now. The Good has one that you might appreciate, James. Since you guys mentioned Berserk, I figured I had a duty to bring up Vinland Saga to your attention. Have you heard of this, James?
Yeah.
It's adapted from a classic seinen manga. Am I saying that right? Seinen?
Seinen, yeah.
Manga that is renowned as one of the big seinen series alongside Berserk and Kingdom, which has absolutely awful anime adaptations, with Berserk's adaptations being somewhat tolerable, but paling in comparison to the original manga. But Vinland Saga stands out because the animation is actually pretty good. It's clear the animators really had a passion for the source material as they preserve all the pacing, story beats, deep and complex themes, and incredibly fleshed out characters of the manga. Do you say manga or manga? Manga. A brief synopsis of Vinland Saga is pretty much the story of Vikings invading Europe and the gradual transformation of a young innocent Viking boy, Thorfinn, as he grows to become brutally violent and bitter, the very antithesis of everything his father wanted him to be. What makes it stand out is the incredible attention to detail. Half the characters are real people that existed during the time period, and they align to their real history almost perfectly. Everything feels so visceral and real. It shows you all the raping, murder, pillaging, and all sorts of terrible things that the Vikings did, and it doesn't romanticize it at all. It just shows you everything for what it is. It's a fascinatingly deep and grounded world that you can just lose yourself in. And because of the realistic setting, it has an even more powerful impact, since everything you're seeing is something that happened, or could have happened in real life history. I cannot recommend it enough. An 11 out of 10 anime that more people need to see. That's Vinland Saga.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I have this thing called The List, and it's things I want to watch. I don't watch anything on this list, because I never find the time.
It's like an IMDb watch list or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like, I've wanted to watch Ford versus Ferrari, or Le Mans 66 for people who actually know what Le Mans is, Americans.
Yeah.
Really good movie, but yeah, that was one of the movies I wanted to watch. I watched that yesterday, and Vinland Saga has been on the list forever. It came out quite recently. I've just seen mixed things about it.
Is it quite a long one?
No,
I've not heard of this before, so...
It's normal. It's a normal length anime series. But it's on the list. I will watch it eventually when I finish JoJo.
Did you want to talk about Le Mans quickly? Because we all watched that yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday we decided to watch Le Mans 66. It's about the Ford versus Ferrari era of Le Mans. It's got Matt Damon in and Christian Bale.
It's 2019, I think.
Yeah, it's quite recent.
James Mangold, the director of Logan, directed it.
Really good movie. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the story as someone who like just knows nothing about cars. Like it was all new to me.
Yeah, it's because the easiest thing to compare this to would be Wash. Cinematization of a racing moment. But I think Wash was it was very entry level. It didn't go into the details of all the technical stuff as much. But this had like that information, the technical information that I would appreciate because I'm a car person.
Because you were definitely picking up on shit that went way over my head. Like that Christian Bale character seemed like he was written for you. Like all the shit he was saying, all his comments were like...
Yeah, he sounded like he was a guest on Top Gear or something.
Yeah, he's like always quipping about like and making fun of people's car choices and shit. He's like a proper gearhead car guy.
Yeah, and that movie had that vibe, and I thought... There's a lot of CG in it because you can't have a movie with that like era.
Well, it's set like it's like 1960 pretty much.
Yeah, but they did have real shots. You can see the real shots when they're like moving between the cars because they're driving on that track, and then the rest is CG.
Yeah,
but
I thought the visual effects largely were pretty good. Actually,
yeah, I thought so as well.
Especially with how much of it is in the movie.
Yeah, it's not a short movie because like Rush is like 1:40. It's quite short. This is quite chunky.
I think I actually prefer Rush personally. Because I think I just get more emotional connection out of that movie.
Yeah, that movie just with the soundtrack by Hans Zimmer.
The soundtrack's really good in that movie too.
You get so emotionally connected.
I could have done with like 15 minutes maybe being shaved off. of Le Mans.
I agree. I think I actually preferred Le Mans to Rush. Yeah, like James said, I find the sort of nitty-gritty business side, the scumfuckery there, although I didn't like the sort of bad guy. He was a bit too evil.
And I found it distracting that John Bernthal was even cast as the role he was in.
He wasn't in it enough.
It didn't seem like he was cast because he was the right guy for the job. It just seemed like...
Yeah, because it was him.
Because it's him. It's almost distracting when you have someone like of that kind of caliber playing such a small part. But
Yeah. I just think Christian Bale, he's like too good of an actor at this point.
Yeah, his performance was so fucking believable.
Yeah,
his manner, he just changes into someone else.
Yeah,
he does that thing that only the best actors do, where they genuinely just become someone else, and But you see that kind of body language, reflected in the people you've seen in real life. You can contrast with the.
He's playing a British character from like a northern region of Britain, and you don't.
He sounds exactly like David Thewlis. He's the guy who he's the werewolf from Harry Potter. He's like he's got that exact accent.
Yeah, and the same sort of way of moving. Yeah, mannerisms and everything. And his performance definitely brought the movie up for me. So I like what's his face, Thor.
Hemsworth.
Yeah, I feel like I'm always shitting on him in Jar.
Yeah.
But I like him, but I don't think he's like a masterful actor.
See, it was in Rush. I remember the other guy more, the antagonist.
Yeah, definitely.
And the guy from Civil War.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a really good actor. But yeah, maybe I need to see the movie again. But also, I don't find F1 cars very interesting. Whereas the 60s sports cars are fucking awesome.
Yeah, they were. And the imagery of all the cars is really... I was just saying constantly, like, that fucking shot is so sexy. Because it's just like, and they're perfectly angled. It's like, it's just beauty. It's just such good cinematography.
Yeah, he's got a good style too. There was some... He's clearly got a flair, the director. He knows what he's doing. It seemed quite well storyboarded. I never felt overwhelmed by like the action and
Yeah, like I know I haven't seen all of Logan, but I could tell with the way that like some of the shots when he's testing the car, the way it pans and it's like going on. It reeked of his
because
style
Logan,
with
there's
Logan.
like a there's kind of a car chase scene, and in that movie, that's the point that probably has the worst visual effects, the most obvious.
Yeah, he's like bashing through a
yeah. And you can see sort of hints of that, but because it is all like was based on real shit. Like the reference, like I was just thinking about this, like in Forza, for example, the models are like so insane. You could probably, if you get it like the right angle within these engines, if you're just capturing it from with the right lighting and everything, it looks real.
No, like I'm saying, like if movie companies are gonna make car racing movies, they really should be contacting game companies. Because it would be cheaper than having a CG.
Well, that's what they're doing with like Mandalorian. Like they're using, I think it's Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
And just rendering these environments. It makes so much sense.
You fucking Willy!
I don't know what they're barking at, but yeah, I enjoyed my time with it. I mean,
yeah, I did as well. I don't know why, but I like Matt Damon as well.
He's quite a good movie star. He's got like a sympathetic thing going on.
Yeah, he's a little bit ugly too, and I can relate to that.
No, I think.
Do you know what I mean? He's not ugly, but he's sort of oafish. I don't mean to be mean to the guy.
Like,
no,
I know what you mean, like sort of. You know, like Joe Rogan, he's got that primitive thing.
The barbarian can't fucking. But I think that movie. Damon and Bale they carry that movie so well, and it's worth seeing for their acting alone. They're both very good in it.
There's one scene that I think I'd prefer just cut out the film when his wife is like driving him and being like ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Yeah, and they didn't set up that she didn't want him to go back to racing.
That's what I found.
She's the one that encouraged him to stay racing, and then she's suddenly like, right, I'm killing us.
Yeah,
because you're racing.
The thing with the son didn't really connect with me either.
No.
I thought that worked.
Really?
There was enough stuff early on where he's like taking him to all the races and they have the feud. Like the main reason the bad guy doesn't like Christian Bale.
Just because he was being a cunt to his son.
Yeah, his son wanted to like touch this car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the conflict was good.
Yeah.
Just it boiling down to these companies that just like hate each other and they're just throwing money around.
Yeah, I almost wish there was more of that as the movie progressed. More John Bernthal interaction with...
Yeah, because you get to a point where that part just stops being relevant for ages, and then John Bernthal comes back in. And
he keeps cropping up and sort of smiling to the good guys, like, yeah, I'm actually on your side. I may be a suit.
Just waiting for him to like pull the Punisher look.
Yeah, he just brutalized. Yeah, it's a good film.
Vault-Tec AU has one. Do the Jar Boys play grand strategy games? I think it's been mentioned that James has played Civilization, but have you played anything else in the genre? I ask because it seems the games from Paradox Interactive are only getting more and more popular recently. Who's Paradox Interactive?
They make Civilization.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're getting popular because they're the most fucking addictive thing, just game you can play. It's this week alone, we're just like, we'll play some Apex till 9 o'clock. Oh, let's play some Civ. Fucking almost 1 in the morning on a weekday. We're just like, Jim, we should stop playing now. I need to go to bed.
Okay, one more turn.
Yeah. No, James will say, okay, one more turn, and then we go like 30 turns later.
It's just like, oh, you can save now.
Yeah. No, last time it had to end with me like stopping you.
Because I was like, no.
It always takes one of us to be like, nah, I'm done. I need to stop now.
Because it's the way the game is. It's just like you are competing against your friends. And you don't
also not.
Yeah, you don't know where they are. You can't see their cities. You can just you can only gather intelligence from what they tell you. And we just lie to each other constantly. So it's just like, I'll finally find Jim and I'll see his little stats. It's just like, fuck, Jamie's got fucking 1,000 gold and 70 science, and I've got 30. And I'm like, fuck, I need to catch up. And it's just like, I'm trying to build stuff. And build my cities.
Yeah, and it's a game where every time you play it, you've learnt a bit more.
How to play.
Yeah, you're like breaking down the systems, figuring out what way you want to go.
And then we'll play a match and we'll get quite far into it, and then because we've learnt more, or because the way it's turned out, it's just like, let's start another match. So you repeat the process every fucking day. I've played like almost 300 hours on it on Epic Store alone, and I've played
I'm getting up there as well. It is just genuinely one of the most satisfying experiences.
It's so good. Let's say people get bored. If you're bored on a weekend, just play Civ, because then it'll be 10 o'clock and you're like, fuck, where's it gone? Mm-hmm. And we've been trying to bully you into buying it for so
really
fucking
think you
long.
Should get it, Alex.
It's my mental thing where I have to disconnect PC and video games.
It is on console though.
It'll be a miserable time.
Yeah,
I don't know if playing it on console is any fucking point.
Yeah, you need to be like ding 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 everywhere.
But it's the only game James plays with a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because I don't have to be quick. I can just be like...
All you have to do is you sit there with a bag of popcorn, one hand on the mouse, leaning back. That's it.
That's it, yeah. I was just eating popcorn the last time we were playing, just like... I've got popcorn in my mouth. And
I'm someone that was really never into this sort of game.
No. But it hooks you. It's like Steve only put it through his mouth. It fucking grabs you. You ain't go.
And you're in with the sharks. But no, I haven't played any other games of the genre.
No, I did recommend that we should probably get Humankind, which was like trying to compete with Civilization, but they've delayed that till August, I think, because it looks like it could beat Civ from what I've seen. But I think everyone should try Civ. Because it just gets your mind going.
It seems, even if you're not someone that normally plays video games,
just try Civ.
It's because it's a genre like I'm so not used to. It requires no reflexes or anything.
No, you can take your time as long as you want. You can properly
and there's
out.
the tutorial mode really good. Yeah, because it's how I had to get into the game.
And it will always explain things to you. And can't forget, Sean Bean is one of the voice actors for it.
I always forget that. That is a genuine
it's a huge draw. Like every time you discover something new, he'll be like, "Dogs can't live without them." It's like,
that is the exact type of voice you don't mind hearing.
Yeah, I went back to Civ 5, and I started a new one, and I got the same thing. The voice actor. It wasn't Sean Bean. I was just like, no, I don't give a fuck. But when Sean Bean says it, it's like, oh.
Yeah, it is tempting, but I just really don't want to play on PC.
Bro, you need to. Come on, you have to try it. It was free on the Epic Games Store. That's how I got it. I didn't even pay for it. Like, I've
Then
spent
you gotta use
$300
the Epic
on
Game
a...
Store, man.
Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck the Epic
But
Game
I
Store.
got it for free, so I can't complain. And the DLC is quite good as well. Besides the stupid barbarian encampments when they get these stupid fucking units, idiots.
Do you find it lame though how it's just Fortnite, all that Fortnite money? They just bought their way
No, but then
into that market.
aren't they losing money every day from Epic Games?
They're like spending so much money on that free game thing.
It was like in 2K like 20 today, like this month, and a game this year, boom, or last year.
I guess consumers are winning because they're getting free games out of it, but it's it's split.
Yeah, but when the next like fad happens and Epic starts losing big money, and nobody's using their launcher, and everyone's gone back to Steam,
which they already are. Let's be real. Who actually uses any other thing?
The only time I've ever gone on Epic is for those free games. I think. I think wasn't Borderlands 3 or some shit, or Borderlands
probably.
2. I think.
The thing is, they've all given up. EA Play is just a fucking Steam thing now.
Yeah, Steam is just gradually absorbing everything.
Like it always has been. It's just not changing. It's just getting better.
Yeah, and I think Epic has motivated other studios to join Steam. So I mean, in that way, it is good.
Yeah.
They are the necessary evil to make gaming better for everyone else.
Potentially.
Bumper Munch says, this question is for Alex. It seems like you aren't too fond of playing specific types of open world games like Breath of the Wild or Phantom Pain. The types that are extremely open-ended and really encourage player experimentation. Is this true? And if so, what is your reasoning? Cheers, Mingdings. I wouldn't say I'm specifically put off by those kind of games, but I'm specifically put off those two games for hyper-specific reasons.
Or the same hyper-specific reason.
Actually, I'd say they're different.
Oh, really?
With Phantom Pain, it's because it's like a weird jumping on point. It feels like for me to start getting into Metal Gear there.
Honestly, you can play that game without even thinking of Metal Gear in any capacity.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I don't know what it is. I'm just not interested in that game.
I never finished it. I got sick of it quite quickly. I just didn't.
It doesn't have enough like robots or aliens. It's got other crazy shit, but like whales and
it's
stuff.
definitely past its golden age. Like, going back to it now might feel a bit.
And I would much prefer to play Breath of the Wild over Phantom Pain.
I think that'll always age.
And
like 20 years, I think that game will still be.
I would
good.
play Breath of the Wild tomorrow if I could play it in like 4K 60.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like elitist or whatever to say at this point, but like I don't
4K.
like playing it. Like I played it on my Switch for a few hours, but I mean, I've kind of had my fill of open world games, full stop, and I know they like really went in with the freedom stuff, but I just don't care.
Breath of the Wild is a different type of open world.
Yeah,
it's just not the same thing. But with Breath of the Wild, I'd say play it handheld. In my mind, I can justify it being 30 frames and like looking a bit worse.
Like when you're on a plane or something, you can just like get sucked into an actual open world that is different.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've never really gone in on Zelda, honestly.
Yeah, well, this one was definitely the one for me. I don't think I would have really liked.
And I did watch Ruben play it for like hours and fucking hours.
That's for reasons.
I got so much of the game.
You saw so much of both.
Yeah.
They were...
Yeah, true,
actually. They were just the games that...
Yeah, that Witcher 3 as well, I saw a hell of a lot of. One of the other games, it's in my like... You didn't play Witcher 3?
Yeah.
It's because of that. Torterra is my starter says, I know we've been talking a lot about Mass Effect, but I got around to picking up Legendary Edition a couple of days ago, thanks to all the great things you guys had to say about the series. It's my first time playing through the series and I absolutely adore it. I've been growing more and more bored of video games as time has gone on, but Mass Effect brought back everything I loved about video games in the first place. Great story, world building, characters, and of course gameplay. Thanks for the great recommendation.
See, this is, but I'm glad you got to experience it.
This is what I was hoping to hear from. If it's someone who's never played it and they're still able to get into
they'll
it.
Get that love.
Because it's been a reminder of that for me too. Just like, yeah, things can be nice. Let's do a couple more quick ones then. Mild and Wild 420 has one for James. Mr. James, what is your opinion on car stickers / vinyls? I'm not sure how popular they are in Britain, but in the US it's pretty common to see things like, if you want to ride my ass, at least pull my hair, or something like that plastered on the back windows of people's cars. Do you have any said stickers that other boys can answer too? I was telling you guys I saw a van parked in Tesco that had the umbrella logo on it. But it also had like a bunch of like skeleton hands and zombie arms, and it was like, this vehicle's a zombie killer machine. See, I don't like the sticker example he gave. Like, that shit is cringy. Like when it's like if you want to ride, you got to pay with arse. It's just like, no, you're a cucky boy. You stuck that sticker on your car. Like, no, it's cringe. Like, what's that one? There's that car around here that's like, fuck.
Chucky.
I get fucked by the government. What was it?
I get fucked by the. I don't need sex. I get fucked by the government.
Yeah, like, that's the one I've seen around here.
I understand the appeal with stickers because it's like, it's your crew, you know. Like, think of old Japan, they'd have stickers of their crew, and that would be their club. That's their street team.
Yeah.
I get that, and why some people want to be part of this group, and, you know, that's like a community. That's cool. But I don't put stickers on my car because if you see a car with loads of stickers on it, looks sporty, you know that person's probably been a bit of a cunt in a car, like street racing, doing dangerous things. It gets you attention from the police.
Yeah.
And if you put stickers in certain places, it's illegal. But I don't do any of them because I think if you're going to sticker, do it like, go all in, like a race car. Have it properly done out, like professionally, so then it looks good. Just sticking loads of stickers on every panel of your car looks a bit ridiculous.
Unless it's of Chucky.
Unless it's a Chucky mobile.
Yeah.
No, but that thing, they've gone in. They've actually gone in all the way, and they've made the whole car like this Chucky mobile.
There's someone in our town that has customized it.
I'm pretty sure someone found it on Reddit. Well, not found it on Reddit, but found it
and put it on
someone
Reddit.
From our town took a picture of it and put it on Reddit.
Funny.
That's what I'm trying to say.
What is the brand again? Is it a Cruiser?
It's the Cruiser PT Cruiser.
Yeah,
the worst car
from Breaking Bad. Like it's humiliating.
The one that I think Michael Scott from The Office drives one as well.
They are the ugliest car ever made. They're fucking disgusting.
Yeah, they're horrible.
So putting Chucky all over it makes it way better.
Yeah, like I was.
Yeah, it's embracing. Like, it's fucking ugly.
Yeah. But then you think of the Joker van in the town as well. Like, he just stuck Heath Ledger on the side.
I found out there's more than just the van. He's got a caravan as well that has that classical piece of art with the two like angels touching. It's that, but with Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger touching. On like the bag on the side of like a camper van, that fucking huge. It's the funniest shit.
It's like, if he's gonna do that, do the whole car like the Chucky car, because then it kind of work and not just.
I mean, he kind of has.
But not on the van. The van is just Heath Ledger's face.
I think there is something on the side.
I hate.
You got to look out for it, man. It's crazy.
We live in a fucking weird town.
We live in a society.
Yeah, clearly. Let's end on this one from Your Royal Flyness. Hello, Jar. I was rewatching the modern epic of our time, JARCast 196, the normal episode. Not 5 minutes in, and you lads mentioned Dogecoin. And Alex says, make sure you all invest in your Dogecoin. It's going to be the next big thing. Remember that this episode was released December 2019. It feels like last year because of corn time. Thoughts?
Can I just say, if you listened to me about GameStop, if you invested in Dogecoin, you'd be fucking rich. Why aren't you listening to us?
If we listened to ourselves, we'd be fucking rich.
Fucking hate the world we live in, man.
Why? No, but it is weird the amount of things we've just been like, we said
also,
before.
like, Mort is becoming
Mort's
like a big Twitter meme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've got some weird power.
We are influencing the meme economic stratosphere. We are we are
the bottom of the iceberg.
The bottom of the iceberg, yeah. I watched Hidden Xperia's video about the Halo iceberg.
Oh yeah.
Where he goes through all the tiers of like obscure Halo shit. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I watched a Dark Souls lore video. that
like
was
an iceberg.
It was rating whether they were believable, because like in Dark Souls you never know if it's real or not. It's like believable. It's like actual historians going into Dark Souls and like getting evidence for things.
There was this do you remember in Halo 3 there's that weird Easter egg where there's that like shirtless guy in underwear like bouncing? Yeah. And there was this weird like rumour that it was like some dead guy or some shit.
Yeah, like dead.
Yeah.
It was, supposed to be a dead, one of the dead.
Like a dead guy, but that's just like not true at all.
Dead.
No, like some guy who had died. That was like the rumour or something.
No, the rumour is it's the developer. It's the dev.
No, the rumor was that it was some dead guy, but it was just the developer. Like it wasn't. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just one of those weird. You remember that era where it was just like everyone was lying, and all the like weird playground rumors and shit. And like my dad works at Bungie bullshit.
Whose dad didn't work at Bungie? To be honest, mine did.
Every other person on Xbox Live. But I think that's it, guys.
Shall I leave us with a quote?
Yep, take us away,
for tuning in. See you on the next one.
See you on the next one. Our quote today is Corinthians 10:31. This is Corinthians 9:22.
The saga of the Eternals, a race of immortal beings who lived on Earth. There was a comment specifically the last episode that was like, I hate that duck. Which makes me want to leave it there even more.
No, it's perfect. It adds so much to the wall of normal kind of things.
Normal?
Yeah, the normal wall. Okay, it's not entirely normal. That is the first one.